Hello, dear friends. Current events force me to be alert this Sunday because strong things are coming, but all the planets are retrograde until 2nd October, according to astrologer Juan Honorio Tolosa Paz. Opinion piece. Crazy silence, more eloquent than words. The current silence is deafening. Confirmation of the Chinese move. Beijing has not denied the rumors. The Epoch Times confirms speculation. Lawyer Reiner Fuellmich is under suspicion. Brazil, Mexico and Argentina rejects sanctions. Hurricane Fiona destroys Newfoundland city. Tesla plans to build thousands of humanoid robots. Pope Francis tightens his control over bishops. Prince Andrew accused of conspiring against Charles III. Earth is said to be protected by millions of starships. Jupiter is about to have its closest encounter with Earth. Obedience to divine laws must precede the financial restart. Let's start. Silence speaks louder than words. Silence and smile are two powerful weapons. Smile solves problems and silence avoids them. Silence is sometimes the harshest criticism, and administrative silence is sometimes the confirmation of the news. That is why Beijing has not dared to deny rumors of a coup d'etat. Some people consider alternative journalism a mortal sin because it gives information that is different from that of the official media. It's solely true if it is on television. They do not realize that they are following manipulators. The term alternative comes from a movement that has emerged as an alternative to the traditional press, which is not limited like the latter, and which has a global reach without censorship, relatively. In recent hours, there have been rumors of an alleged coup d'etat in China following the alleged arrest of President Xi Jinping. Although the information has not yet been confirmed by Beijing, neither has it been denied, which leaves the door open. So far, only sources from the Argentine embassy in China have denied that President Xi was detained by special forces of the People's Liberation Army under General Li Qiaoming. Massive rumors circulating on social networks, many of them originating in China, have claimed that President Xi Jinping is under threat of a military coup and that he has been replaced as president of the country by a powerful military general, Li Qiaoming, who is among the highest-ranking officials of the Chinese People's Liberation Army. Confirmation. However, Storm Rider has confirmed that there has been a coup in China against Xi Jinping because they knew he was going to initiate a purge. A military column arrived in Beijing a few days ago and is said to have arrested Xi and his family. It is possible that this coup will be followed by another when the CCP is disbanded and the corrupt elite arrested, he adds. According to the Storm Rider, the detained Xi Jinping would be a double, and all these events are taking place after the last meeting between Xi and Putin, where they agreed to start a purge of the CCP. Days after that meeting, the dark side made its move against the White Hats in China and pushed for a military coup of its own, sending thousands of soldiers to Beijing with military units and hundreds of armed assault vehicles that lined the highway in a line up to 80 kilometers long and detained President Xi and his top officials. President Xi and his family have not returned home since this meeting with Putin days ago. Chinese sources confirmed that the current Xi under house arrest would be a double. The dark side decided it was time to try to take control of the monetary reserve operations of a BRICS group of countries, arrest Xi, and start a campaign to stop the current White Hat military coup, so it would be a double whammy. China's White Hat coalition has operatives who are militarizing Chinese students through universities, and these students would form a large part of the coalition's planned military coup. According to Jim Stone, Xi was a Soros stooge, but the military got tired of it and dethroned him for it. Perhaps specific leaders who were powerful enough said, in quotes, "Enough of the alliance with Russia. We don't want to be annihilated by the US, so we are in charge." Close quotes. Speculation. Chinese leader Xi Jinping does not attend military seminar, sparking speculation according to Taiwan news agency the Epoch Times. China's top leader Xi Jinping did not attend the National Defense and Military Reform Seminar in Beijing on Wednesday. Although he was absent, Xi, who is General Secretary of the Chinese Communist Party, President of China and Chairman of China's Central Military Commission, gave instructions to attend this and demanded that the Chinese military focus on combat readiness, according to China's main propaganda agency Xinhua News. Also absent from the seminar was Wei Fenghe, China's Minister of National Defense. Li Qiaoming, former commander of China's Northern Theater Command, was at the seminar. Li was replaced by Wang Qiang of the Air Force, who Xi promoted to general on 8 September. China Central Television saw Li sitting in the front row under the stage, next to Liu Zhenli, commander of the People's Liberation Army Ground Force. Li disappeared from public attention after Wang Qiang replaced him as commander and was once included in rumors of a military coup. There has been much speculation about the military reshuffle ahead of the 20th CCP National Congress, at which Xi is seeking a third consecutive term. Fear of silence. Silence is deafening by Aletheia Luna. One of our greatest fears is silence. We run away from it. In our living rooms, in our cars, in our workplaces, and in our conversations. In each place, you will notice our habit of drawing out the dreaded silence with noise and stimulation. It is like a dark portent that follows us forever. Many of us don't realize it and live under a veil of oblivion, unaware of the fear we have of being silent and still with ourselves. We will turn up the volume of our stereos. We will turn on our music of phones. We will turn on the radio or television. We will find anything to fill that emptiness. And constantly, we will pollute ourselves with noise and stimulants, which will numb our minds so that we live our world in a reflective state of reverie. Silence makes us uncomfortable. We may even argue that it bores us to embrace that silence. But what really bothers us is ourselves. We don't know what to do with ourselves, or what to think, or even who we are. In the end, we discover that it is not the silence we are uncomfortable with, but ourselves. Suspects. Reiner Fuellmich is under suspicion. Fuellmich's main 2020 threat, with more than 20 pages, has disappeared. Some warned that he was collecting data for Gates and Soros, many months ago, and now he is accused of stealing funds of 1.3 million euros and left the committee for good. He was allegedly an employee funded by that open society. He has been ordered to destroy the data or hand it over. Some lawyers cannot be trusted. Basically, he says that they have a statute in their association that no one will profit financially from his work, but that he will be paid modestly from the money he earns. Yet, he received 26,000 euros per month for answering emails. This might be acceptable if you know the salaries of Swiss lawyers, but there is still the problem of the 700,000 euros that went to projects. Fuellmich would have kept this money, and when the other members asked for it, he says he spent it at home. It was nothing but hot air from the beginning. He never instigated any lawsuit against the tyranny. His arguments were that the German judiciary is dead, and therefore it would be useless to do anything. At times he became very arrogant and disapproved of opinions of the interviewee, opinions that were apparently too dangerous for the dark side. He would divert the dialogue from what seemed to be very interesting and revealing. But the worst part was that he and his colleagues completely ignored the rare nuggets of information, but no one bothered to check the statistics. This fraud was very clear and very easy to prove, but he has done nothing. Religious control. Pope Francis tightens his control over bishops, ensuring loyalty to his ideas. A recent meeting of bishops at the Vatican drew attention to the way in which Pope Francis exercises his control over the future of the Church and its bishops. During the first part of September, the Vatican hosted an annual event established in 2000 by Pope John Paul II, a formation course for prelates, particularly new bishops, run jointly by the Dicastery of Bishops and the Dicastery for the Oriental Churches. The first session took place in the first week of September, and the second took place from 12th to 19th September. All the religions of the world, it is to say the four main religions, were created by two very important beings that people should know. They are all very different, but they also have similarities. They are all waiting for a savior to return, and this would be a key point. This was inserted into the major belief systems so that they would wait for the prophecy to be fulfilled. All of this leads to diversity rather than unification, which is what the elite and the interdimensional beings want. Separation and polarity is what keeps this three-dimensional hologram intact, and it is held in place by highly advanced technology. A united race of humankind would disrupt the system and hinder or disrupt their plans. The singularity is one, and the battle of Armageddon is spoken of in the Bible and other texts. No wonder the Gnostics were persecuted and killed, while others had to go into hiding with their work. They possessed knowledge that would ignite the world, and people would wake up and see through all the deception. All major religions contain many truths, but the rest is clever manipulation. Black nobility. Origin and mission of the black nobility by Peter B. Mayer. Long ago, when they landed from your planet to mine gold, they created their own Earth slaves to do this work. Nibiru would be the 12th planet in Earth's solar system with an orbit of 3,600 Earth years. The father, Anu, with his two sons, Enlil and Enki, was in charge. Enki was commissioned to conceive the human slave. They appointed pharaohs and then kings, the black nobility, to control the slaves of the land. Until the early Middle Ages, these were pharaohs and kings who became inadequate to this tax as the land population increased. They sought other methods. First, that became church authority through faith. Later, in the 18th century, the monetary system. They blended into European royalty through miscegenation. European nobility were given ceremonial duties to concentrate executive power in secret and invisible societies and governments. History describes world events that would be the result of machinations concocted by powerful and hidden cliques of secret organizations. Now, meanwhile, hundreds of thousands of years later, humankind has landed on the verge of liberation. All chosen incarnates have been placed in position on Earth to liberate the planet and its people from this long-term oppression and enslavement. Divine protection. Earth is protected according to Ashtar through Vania Rodriguez. A rotation of the poles is already slowly taking place. Around your planet there are millions of bright dots. You can barely see the blue surface of your planet. These dots are our starships. They are around the planet, like a great shield, like a great protective armor for all that is happening and will happen. Do not think that the universe has forgotten your planet. Those who once ruled it stand aside, because they still have the illusion that something could go wrong and destroy the planet. But this will not happen. We are beings of light with an immense divine spark, and the love in our hearts will protect this planet with our lives if necessary. So, nothing will be possible to do against this planet until its ascension. After that, Gaia is now part of the Galactic Federation, and will have all the protections that exist on the above planet, never allowing any lower frequency beings to return. So now, take off your glasses. You will see the planet shining again. Put your glasses back on. The planet is in a big bubble of pink light that is changing with a big bubble of green light that changes to blue light, to yellow light, and finally to a big bubble of white light. Unconditional love gives everything and asks for nothing in return. At this moment, we only ask for respect. We will not demand that you love us, but that there be respect for beings other than yourself. But we know that this process of conquest is slow. It will not happen overnight. So we need the help of the beings of the planet, so that we can effectively show what we come for, why we have come, and create a great alliance. For us, it is also a time of change, because our body has not lived in the third dimension for a long time. So we are also doing the daily work of being able to stay in your dimension long enough to have a meeting, to talk, to exchange ideas. And little by little, the process will be reversed as we gain your trust. Those who are ready for the fifth dimension will come to us, and then, yes, it will be very easy for us to implement all we have planned for your planet. Keep your balance. All the rays around the planet in action. Ask for help from whomever you wish, and be assured that you will be answered shortly. News of the reset, or reset news. Obedience to divine laws must precede the worldwide financial reset. The greatest of all the laws of creation is to attain the wisdom of knowledge, inasmuch as this will enable you to wisely follow the laws of creation. Tesla plans to build thousands of humanoid robots. Elon Musk's company wants to use them to automate repetitive and boring tasks in its factories. SpaceX launches another group of 52 satellites for the Starlink network. Jupiter is about to have its closest encounter with Earth in 59 years. On Monday, 26 September, the giant planet will be just 591 million kilometers away. The US military has reportedly patched a tool that captures 93% of the world's internet traffic. Augury allows access to the email data, browsing history, and other sensitive information of internet users around the world. The head of the Spanish government, Pedro Sánchez, is positive. Interpretation is free. Reinforced road closures in the Canary Islands. New scandal in the British royal household. Prince Andrew allegedly conspired against Charles III. He's accused of plotting against his own brother. Americas. Tropical storm Ian could become a Category 4 hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico. Cuba defines in a historic referendum whether or not to approve the groundbreaking family code. Argentina seeks doors in the US to avoid a major crisis. Brazil, Mexico, and Argentina have expressed their rejection of the West's decision to impose sanctions on Russia. Venezuela joins Mexico's initiative for a ceasefire in Ukraine. The Mayan civilization was contaminated with mercury, an element highly toxic to humankind, according to a new study published in the journal Frontiers in Environmental Science. Colombia and Venezuela reestablish military relations. Small traders hopeful about the opening of the Colombia-Venezuela border. More and more Bolivian products are exported through the port of Ilo in Peru. Hurricane Fiona leaves devastating consequences after making landfall in Canada. The historic city of Newfoundland has been destroyed by Hurricane Fiona as homes were swept out to sea, roads washed away, and 471,000 residents are left without power, but no deaths are reported. A new island emerges in the Pacific Ocean following the eruption of an underwater volcano in Tonga. North Korea launches an unidentified ballistic missile into the Sea of Japan. Ukraine attacks a hotel in Kherson, where civilians were staying, with HIMARS missile launchers. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.